Okay, so we'll move on. Our first item is to approve the minutes from the meeting on March 20th. Have those in your packet?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions or comments on those minutes? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those minutes are approved. And I will note for the record that this board met in executive session on March 26th to discuss personnel matters. And we've also had a late request to add an item to the agenda. I can't quite read the font on this note. It's a little small. But, we want to add Dan Lyons from the Housing and Redevelopment Authority, so we'll accept a motion to add that agenda item.
I'll make a motion to approve Dan Lyons to talk about the Community Development Block Grant.
Second.
Motion second. Questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And we'll expect him around 10 o'clock. So, Mrs. Neuin.
Good morning. Okay, we had receipts on April 1st and April 2nd of $178,714.82. We had a total cash of $4,658,709.75. Our expenditures were $1,419,473.48. Our tax claim is $140,350.91. So that leaves us with $3,098,885.36.
I'll move to approve the report as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Okay.
Okay, I do have some debt payments that need to be approved for April 15th. The 2016 GOB, the bond would be for $175,958.80.
I'll make a motion to approve the general obligation bond of 2016, Series 2016, for $175,958.80.
I'll second the motion.
Motion second. Questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And
The second one is an amount of $25,324.81 for the 2017 bond.
I'll move to approve that series.
Second.
motion second. Questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Understood as
Okay.
well.
And the third one is for $648,445.24, which is our 2021 bond.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for the $648,445.24 general obligation bond from the 2021 bank at Fulton Financial.
I'll second the motion.
Motion is second. Questions, comments? None. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That approval.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself for the record and the floor is yours.
Michelle Snavely, Director of Human Resources. Under resignations and terminations, Alyssa Hassler, caseworker 2, Children and Youth resignation effective April 1st. Lindsay Coons, full-time correctional officer at the jail, job abandonment effective March 24th. Anna Mary Geiger, full-time correctional officer at the jail, resignation effective April 3rd. Ray Arnold Jr., work release director, Lebanon County Correctional Facility, retirement effective May 28th. Jerry Fish Jr., casual coronal logistics technician, coroner's office, resignation effective February 28th. Clarissa Plaza, office support 2, domestic relations, termination effective March 25th. And Sheila Shockley, principal assistant at NHIDEI, retirement effective May 17th.
Move to approve those terminations and resignations with special note for the retirement of Ray Arnold for his longevity with us.
And also, Sheila Shockley is retiring, and she was here since 2014, so that's a wonderful term too. I'll second the motion.
Motion second. questions, or comments? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Approved.
Under changes to status transfers and promotions, I have two motions. The first to approve MHDEI Administrator Holly Leahy's request to reclassify one current full-time office support 2 position in a grade 8 on the non-union salary chart to a full-time fiscal technician position in a grade 12 on the non-union salary chart, effective immediately. This position is 94.5% funded by state and federal funds and 5.5% county funded.
I'll make them.
Motion?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now that
Mo-
approved.
Motion to approve Treasurer Sallie Neuin's request to have the current employees in the Treasurer's office and Belinda Spicer in tax claim work an additional 2.5 hours per week at straight pay and up to a maximum of 5 hours per week at overtime pay for approximately 6 to 8 weeks as needed, effective April 7th, 2025.
I move to approve Treasurer Sallie Neuin's request concerning her 2.5 hours per week, etc.
I'm sorry, there was more to it, or just that part of it?
She said et cetera.
Oh, et cetera. No, I didn't hear that part. Okay, I'll second the motion.
Motion and second to approve this request as submitted. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Permission is granted.
Bradley Ann Wagner, promotion from caseworker 2 in children and youth to child abuse investigator at the rate of $1,838.63 biweekly, effective April 13th. Shannon Pedia, promotion from general clerk C and the register of wills to second deputy at the rate of $1,404.53 biweekly, effective March 31st. Jamie Shoemaker, promotion from office support 1 and voter registration to office support 2 at the rate of $1,280.74 biweekly, effective April 14th.
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Motion second. Questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Proceed.
Moving on to other transactions, the Department of Emergency Services would like to hire the following 4 full-time telecommunicators, all at the rate of $19.28 per hour, all effective April 7th, and that is Cassandra Giuliani, Amanda Long, Michael Steltz, and Tina Zellman. Renova Center would like to hire Skylar Patton as a full-time direct support aide at the rate of $16.54 per hour, effective April 28th.
Can I ask just a quick question?
Sure.
Is it Steltz or is it Stites? Is it,
I'm not sure.
I mean, I never saw Steltz and I wondered if it might be Stites. Just check into it.
It's
I
with
don't
an E on the paperwork, so.
Maybe we start.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion? I'll so move these hires.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those transactions are approved.
Moving on to salary board, motion to approve all transactions previously read plus the following: Harmon Maldonado, interpreter stipend, annual interpreter stipend of $1,500 prorated from the effective date of April 1st. No Aguilera Gonzalez, a longevity payment, probation officer 2 and probation services. This is a one-time 9-year longevity payment of $2,136.87, effective April 18th. And Kevin Dugan, this is a longevity incremental increase, senior deputy district attorney, a 3-year longevity increase to $3,380.97 biweekly, effective April 27th.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? None. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Salary board schedule is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's that? Introduce yourself for the record and you may proceed.
Melissa Herr from MHIDEI. Morning. I am here seeking approval for contract amendments for fiscal year 24-25. We have 7 early intervention 6 intellectual disability, and 3 building maintenance for a total of $118,785.
Make
That
'em- oh.
cost will, our current allocation and budget can cover that cost, so we're not looking for any additional county tax dollars.
I'll make a motion to approve the 16 contracts or amendments and, at a total of $118,785.
I'll second the motion.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? None, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. All that approval.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Moving right along. Morning, ladies.
Good morning. Hello.
Have a seat, get yourself comfortable, and then if you want to introduce yourself for the record, and then you may proceed.
Good morning, I'm Kasey Felty. I work with Lebanon County MHIDEI.
Good morning, my name is Briana Reigel, and I'm First Deputy at the Lebanon County Coroner Office. Dr. Yoakum asked me to present the 2024 final numbers, and so that's what I'm here to do. So the first thing was cremation authorizations. There were 781 total last year, which was a decrease of 2. Total coroner cases was 345, and that was an increase of 5. Natural deaths, 277, an increase of 15. Accidental deaths, 37, that was a decrease of 13. Drug-related deaths, 19, which was a decrease of 14. Motor vehicle accidents, we had 9. 2 deaths related to a fall. We had 1 death related to a silo collapse. 1 death related to an electrocution. 1 drowning, and 1 related to carbon monoxide poisoning. And then under suicide deaths, we had 30 suicide deaths this past year, which was an unfortunate increase of 10. 19 of those were gunshot wounds, 7 hangings, 3 of those were drug related, and 1 was carbon monoxide poisoning. And then we had 1 homicide last year. That's all I have.
In response to the increase of the suicide deaths within Lebanon County, the Suicide Prevention Task Force has increased their efforts in reaching out to individuals within the community. We have developed an 1-year or an ongoing media campaign with a combination of social media, radio PSAs. We are doing a 3-month bus promotion for crisis intervention in 988, excuse me, and Pandora and Spotify ads. We also continue to have our Suicide Prevention Task Force meetings, which are hybrid meetings that occur the 4th Tuesday of each month. We are also in the midst of planning our Mental Health Awareness Month Festival, which is occurring in May. That is Saturday, May 10th from 10 to 1 p.m. We have over 50 mental health and wellness providers, activities, games, and activities for the community. We are also in the process of planning for Suicide Prevention Month, which is in September. Those events include a bingo fundraiser to allow us to do everything that we're doing, light a candle, and then also a suicide prevention walk. And then we have our yearly remembrance ceremony that occurs in December. We don't have the specifics of that plan, but stay tuned. And if anybody is looking for more specific details, you can contact our office to inquire at 717-274-3415.
How much do you need to raise in order to close the gap on the funding?
Right now, our funding, our Suicide Prevention Task Force and fundraising has done a wonderful job, and we have, I believe, over $20,000 within our budget for suicide prevention in our efforts.
But you're having a fundraiser, how much do you need to, you have a gap apparently, you need more money? How much do you need?
Right now,
Or
we
about?
do that, we don't have a gap right now.
Okay.
So we do this yearly and it is a very good fundraiser, so we just continue to do it.
Thank you.
I also was wondering, what, the age group for the deaths, are they younger, older?
Suicide, you mean suicide deaths or all?
Yes, mostly the suicide.
The average age is middle age, and the average age is actually 48.8 years old.
Okay. Then I also, as a follow-up to that, was wondering, are Pandora and Spotify, I've heard of Spotify before, but are they both social media accounts?
They are music accounts that you can listen to online.
Oh, they're music accounts, okay. And is it AM, FM?
It is actually
Internet.
online. They're web-based music accounts.
And what is their target age-wise?
We can actually target who we would want to listen to it. You can
Pick any
yeah, you can
genre,
pick
any
any
era,
out-
anything, you know.
all of that. And actually, you can pick the location, so we're focused on Lebanon County, typically between the ages, I believe, of about 25 to 50. But you can be very specific with who you target. And then Spotify and both Pandora bring back, they provide data to how many individuals actually click on the ad, how many people it has hit, how many people have actually listened to the whole ad. So we get that information directly from both of those providers.
Do we do any on our local radio station?
We are linking up with Froggy 101 to do radio PSAs,
Okay.
and we have utilized that in the past as well.
And are there people clicking on it? You said you can get reports?
For Pandora and Spotify, yes. We have data of individuals who are clicking on the ads.
Okay. Can you share some of those numbers?
I don't have those numbers with me right
Okay.
now.
I just, it's very specific and not local, and I wondered if it was working.
It is local. It's the local. It's
Yeah.
targeted. to
Targeted.
local.
It's geo fenced, so
Ah.
they get the exact area.
Yeah, we target Lebanon County specifically with those ads.
Okay. I learned a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that your department? Did you want to make a motion or?
I don't know if you have any more questions.
Please,
Um,
go ahead.
You said, okay, average suicide age is 48.8.
Correct.
Would it be fair to presume it's predominantly male, or can you give us the breakdown?
Sure, it is predominantly male. For 2024, we had 26 males and 4 females.
And is the predominant method of suicide gunshot?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I saw that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Two questions. Briana, number one, I believe these numbers underneath, because they're bulleted, when you add them up, do not equal the number of accidental deaths. It looks like it's 34, and it says here 37 accidental deaths. Do we know what buckets the other three fall into?
You know what? I apologize. Thank you for catching that. I will definitely look those numbers over, and I don't know what buckets they would fall into at the moment,
Okay.
but I can definitely get those numbers to you. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry about that.
Part two is for the commissioners. Why isn't Dr. Yocum here today to present and, he is the coroner,
Right.
paid position, and he can't come to the county commissioners meeting? Any reason why he's not here today?
That would be a
I'm not
question for him.
I'm not aware of what.
I mean, so as deputy,
Yeah.
as a representative, that's a question for him.
I mean, he used to present all the time, and in the
Right.
last 2 years he didn't present, and now it's back on the agenda, but he's not here. And it's hard, all due respect to you, Briana, he's your boss, and I know he sent you, and you have to be here, but it'd be nice to actually be able to ask the actual coroner questions during a public meeting. And he's a paid position, and his office is closed on Thursday, so I can't see any reason why, if today was inconvenient, why he wasn't here before this, or why he can't be here after this. Is it your opinion that's too much to ask?
I don't have an opinion on how busy his, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have no idea where he is right now. He could be ill, he could be, you know, a
Sure.
funeral service, family member who we don't know, but he couldn't be here, that's all we know. So he sent his deputy, the report is accurate. And if you like, you could follow up with Dr. Yoakum.
I think that's the best way. Yeah, when you get it right.
He doesn't respond to telephone calls, and
Oh,
this is endemic within Lebanon County that elected officials do not return your calls. And, you know, I'm just
Excuse me,
saying.
Jim, if you have a question, we'd be happy to answer, but we can't answer that one so at this point, so any other questions?
Well, I'd just like stated for the record that there's more than one elected official that refuses to talk to the press in Lebanon County. And it becomes very frustrating when all you're trying to do is do your job. So,
Thank you. Ladies, anything additional for you to present? No. We want to make a motion to accept that report for the record?
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions, comments? No?
I'm
All
sorry,
in-
I did have,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
apologize. Your mental health fair on May 10th,
Correct.
where will that be held?
It is located at the CSG parking lot, so right at the railhead, on 8th Street.
Oh, okay.
What does CSG stand for?
Community Services Group.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Thank you, ladies,
Thank
for
you.
the information.
Did a great job, thank you.
Ooh. This brings me back to Lost for Wealth.
Well, hello, Martin.
All right, Mr. Bugli, would you introduce yourself for the
Yes.
record and then proceed with your presentation?
Yes, good morning, Matt Bugli, County Solicitor. I'm here presenting two items. The first, I'm going to stand and I have props this morning for. This is presently before the board is an agreement of sale relative to property located right near Old East Cumberland Street and East Cumberland Street. This right here is the parcel of land. And as the board is aware, there have been discussions with the entity, which is the prospective seller, the prospective buyer here, BT Lebanon County. The developer is Bruce Thaler. Mr. Thaler and his entity presently owns a 3.71 acre parcel, which is right in the corner of East Walnut Street and where East Cumberland and Old East Cumberland meet. The parcel that's currently at issue here it's a 17-acre plot, and it's the plot that the fire school is presently located upon. Now the issue here, there is no issue with the fire school. The property is going to be essentially subdivided, and so what we have here is 17 acres at issue. The property price is going to be a total of $2 million. Presently before the board, however, is just an agreement of sale. This is for consideration of $25,000 paid the first year, an additional $25,000 paid if Mr. Thaler does not complete what's called due diligence after the first year. So the term of the agreement of sale is for 2 years. If at the end of 2 years, Mr. Thaler has not completed his due diligence, requirements from PennDOT, requirements from the state, etc., then he will come back, negotiate with the county. If he's prepared to proceed to settlement, then we will proceed with a $2 million purchase price. The discussions have taken place, and I've been here now for a little over a year, and this was actually one of the first things that I discussed with our county administrator, Mr. Walgum. The discussions from the county and center around the driver's license center right here. This is property owned by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Right here is property also owned by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This is the National Guard building here. The discussions from the county and center around Mr. Thaler obtaining more property, county-owned property around back off of Career Drive, so that way he can discuss with the state, work with the state to potentially develop a new driver's license center for Lebanon County. So certain proposals have been discussed, and there are a number of different parties at play. We've had discussions with PennDOT, we've had discussions with the governor's office. A lot of that is very, very early in the process. And so that is where we are this morning. So this is county-owned property, 17 acres that, if the board wishes to proceed, will be subject to an agreement of sale. Mr. Thaler will acquire an equitable interest in the property, and then he will then start the process working with the state, discussions with regard to possibly a new driver's license center, and however that he would like to develop his property if then it transfers to him at the end of the agreement sale period.
Do you have any specific recommendation? Did you,
Yeah,
you want to speak a little bit about?
Yeah, it would be my specific recommendation to enter into this agreement of sale. This is something that Administrator Wagamuth and I have had extensive discussions with Mr. Thaler, his attorney, representatives of his company. He has been very good to work with in these discussions, and I know he understands the need for a new driver's license center, and he sees the value that would add to the community. So, and he's been very appreciative of the efforts of all of us here in Lebanon County to work with him. I do want to note too, the property here that he presently owns, the 3.71 acre parcel, that property was entered, it was an agreement of sale that started in 2016, and we didn't close on the property until 2022. There were actually 10 amendments to extend the agreement of sale, and I know Jim and other members of the media have covered this, so we had 10 extensions. I can't speak to how many there's going to be in this case. Hopefully that's not the case. I know we had COVID. Yeah, but I do want to stress this is the first part in a multi-year, multi-step process that includes South Lebanon Township. It includes PennDOT. It includes a number of different players. The other thing too is because the property where the driver's license center is owned is Commonwealth land, any sort of a land swap that Mr. Thaler would want to possibly do, where he negotiates land to maybe move the driver's license center to the back area, and possibly too maybe adding CDL testing to that location as well. That would actually require an act of the General Assembly, so you'd have to have input from the representatives and senator. So there are a lot of moving parts. All we are here for today is just entering into this agreement for the consideration price. Yes.
Go ahead.
Was there a change to the proposed footprint to include part of the Quittie wetland?
Yeah, so right here, this is all county parcel right here, and in speaking with our assessment office, originally there was discussions that this is approximately 10 acres right here, and then this is about 6-7 acres or so. This is on the other side, on the western side of Career Drive. The proposal now is that rather than keeping 6 or 7 acres of wetland in title to the county, that it just all be transferred to Mr. Thaler, rather than just having a little parcel here and a little parcel there for the county, being that it is all on the same parcel. Mr. Thaler and his entity would still be required to uphold all requirements with regard to wetland.
So, but the price was also adjusted to accommodate that extra acreage.
Yeah, there were some discussions that Jamie and I had with Mr. Thaler. The purchase price that we agreed to in the agreement of sale, $2 million. That we arrived at that after consultation with Dan Seaman and Ted Conley of the assessment office. They took a look at the fair market value of the property, and they provided us with some numbers. And obviously, too, the wetland is not going to be as valuable as the 10 acres, where the 10 acres, the bulk of the lot, which is actually subject to, we lease it out, it's currently farmed. Jamie has indicated that he's had discussions with the farmer in the past, and there is not an issue in that case.
You did mention the assessment office. You did get their opinion on fair market value, and
yeah, they were actually the ones that supplied the $2 million number to Jamie and I. And Mr. Thaler and his entity were amenable to that.
I move to approve the agreement as presented.
I don't want to second it.
okay, I'll second that motion. Any questions or comments?
I do have a comment. I voted to support him as long as he stayed out of the wetlands. Those wetlands may not have a great value to you, but to the citizens of this county, they do. It is the headwaters to the Quittie Creek, and it goes into the Swatara, and it's a source of our drinking water. I don't want his pollution running unfettered into that wetland, and I think it's wrong.
Any other additional questions or comments?
I got a question. Oh, you're a reporter.
Yeah.
I go before you.
I beg your pardon?
I got a
You
question.
can make that call.
Excuse me, sir, we have time for public comment, but we'll get your question, get to you for a minute. Can you just hold, please?
Thank you. Am I understanding that, Mr. Thaler, that this whole land development would be solely for an expanded PennDOT center, or would there be other private enterprise on some of that land?
The agreement of sale incorporates, and I believe it was included in the packet, but it acknowledges on the part of the purchaser that the intention is to work with the state, work with the General Assembly to have a new driver's license center. Ultimately, however, this is totally separate from the driver's license center, the property that's also owned by the state where the National Guard is. That's totally separate from the county parcel. So as far as actually binding Mr. Thaler to that express requirement, once it becomes his land, he would have that would be his objective to develop it how he sees fit. I will say though, in the year that we've had discussions with him, a new driver's license center has been the main point of discussion. Because as far as any other retail or any other development, that's something that he'd have to address.
Because during that 10-year cycle, or those 10 revision cycles that went on for all this, wasn't there some talk about like a Sheets or something possibly being on some of that land?
Well, yeah,
So that's why I was just curious as to whether there would be more development beyond just a testing center potentially and the PennDOT.
Possibly, yeah, that would be something. I can provide you with contact information for either his secretary or his attorney.
Okay,
that we've
yeah,
been
that'd be
working
great.
with. Yeah, he would be the proper party to answer that. Like I said, I think at this point it's so early in the process. I think the discussions up until this point were just working with the county to get this this land. He wanted an equitable interest in it. He's willing to tender a total of $50,000. So that way we don't sell it to anybody else for the next 2 years.
And to Commissioner Litz's point, isn't that also in the area where there's the wetland nature, where the kids go for the study and bio
Yes.
things and
There's
all that?
a wooden boardwalk that I actually helped to build with my children. And like I said, I have no problem. I think the cause is good on the other side of the road for the driver's centers, for Sheets. I have no problems with them. I have a problem with them impeding on that wetland. That should not be part of it.
Wasn't this also recommended by the assessment, or the assessment department?
Yeah, yes it was.
Yes, which you were chair.
And I'm company, he's gonna have to
I'd have to
abide
hear that
by
from them.
all requirements to respect those wetlands and I mean, I know other for-profit golf courses that have wetlands that they have to protect them.
Well, there's
That's
wetlands on the other side that
Right.
are also already,
They're bound by law to keep those wetlands.
That's
So-
correct, yeah.
So, any other question over here?
Yeah, how's that land zone currently?
I'm not sure. You'd have to talk to South Lebanon Township about that.
Okay, now, sir, if I'll allow a question, please, would you identify yourself?
My
for the
name
record?
is Martin Barondick.
Yes, sir.
That's spelled for the news media, Barondick.
So you have a
And
question?
I used to be a very frequent visitor to this room years ago. Unfortunately, I had to stay home and take care of my terminally ill wife, who passed away in November.
I'm sorry to hear
61
that.
years we were married. My question to you, attorney, agreement of sale with BT Lebanon County. What does BT stand for? I don't know. Huh?
Bruce Thaler.
Taylor.
Yeah, Thaler, Thaler. Yeah, Mr. Thaler is the developer, that is his entity, BT Lebanon County.
Is he from Lebanon County himself?
No.
I didn't think so.
He has had projects in Lebanon County in the past. He's had projects all over the state.
And Joellen, for years, you have been very concerned about that property due to pollution, things like that. And I can see your point, wetland. But from there, the Quittie runs straight through Lebanon City, correct? Now, if you want to talk about pollution and junk and garbage, now we can talk. How long have you lived in Lebanon County?
3 years.
Huh?
3 years.
Okay. As far as the driver testing center, at my age, I'm not gonna live to see that. I don't think you will. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Wrong people in Harrisburg, a lot of things enter into it.
Excuse me, Mr. Barandic, we have other agenda items to get to, and if you wanna have this conversation, we'll be around following the meeting if you'd like to
Mr.
continue.
Runnick, I do
If you have any other questions.
I am not Mr. Thaler's attorney, I'm the county solicitor,
Yeah.
so I'm just presenting that the discussions have taken place with the county and Mr. Thaler. Mr. Thaler, being that he's not local, he's certainly has made it, clear he's able to come in, however, I offered to present him.
Mr. Commissioner Coon,
Yes, sir.
in other words, I get relegated if I wanna find something on in that room. I don't have a right to attend these meetings.
No, I said, if you have another question, we'll entertain a question, but you seem like a
Don't rush
discussion.
me. I got a lot to say.
Well,
Cause like I say, I haven't been here for a couple of years.
sir, we bent the rules to allow your question. We have time for public comment at the beginning of every meeting, so if you would like to
I know
comment
your
on anything,
meetings,
you
please,
have
long before
that
you
opportunity to do that. So we need to move on. If there's any other questions,
You gotta be someplace.
we have an agenda to follow, if people scheduled to come in
Go to
and
your
follow.
meeting. I got other questions.
So,
Go ahead.
a motion and a second on the floor. Are there any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
That's approved 2-1. Thank you.
All right. The second item that I have, Mr. Chairman, is this is a grant. Mr. Bob Dowd requested that I present on his behalf today. This is pertaining to the State Homeland Security Grant. This is a program agreement that we would have with PEMA. These are federal funds, and these federal funds go to funding the South Central Counterterrorism Task Force. Lebanon County is one county, along with 8 other counties in the South Central Pennsylvania region. And this is an allocation of federal funds that can be used for that task force. The money has to be, this is actually from 2024 to 2027. The funds have to be obligated by early to mid 2027. It's 120 days prior to the expiration of the performance period, which is August 31st of 2027. Some of the areas that this task force works on: election security, cybersecurity, regional training exercises, and also emergency communications. So this funding is vital to Lebanon County and our ability to receive federal funds.
I was wondering, you told me everything except the amount of the grant.
Oh, yes. It is, it should be in the packet. Yeah. 1,086,766.
Thank you.
First page. Yep.
The other 7 participant counties, are they all pretty much in agreement as well?
That's my understanding from Bob Dowd.
I'll make a motion to approve the grant request for the Homeland Security.
Second motion?
Motion second on the table. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have that approval.
That's all I have for the board this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Morning, Barb.
Good morning, Commissioners. Barb Smith, Prothonotary. I'd like to thank you for opening the doors, approving the opening of the doors on March 22nd, and I'd like to thank the press for all the publication we got. We also advertised on the website, and this was for our passport acceptance day. The doors opened, we were scheduled from 8 until 12. We opened about, well, the line started around 7:45 or even before that. We had 10 employees working that day, including myself. 2 of them were interpreters. I also want to thank maintenance for bringing tables and chairs and setting them in the hallway. So we were very well organized. This was the 5th time we've done this. Doors were locked at 12 o'clock. There was nobody still waiting in line, but I'll tell you, that line just went on and on. It was down the sidewalk and into the parking lot. Dawn can attest because Dawn was here. Some people waited up to 2 hours, and that was a constant flow. So we had 42.5 hours of overtime, but we processed 196 passports, and we assisted with 16 renewals for a total of 212 passports that morning, or 53 per hour. So we were really pleased. There was not a moment of rest. We had people with very job specifics that they were doing. So we received a lot of thanks from a lot of the public. We had a lot of families that came in because children being in schools, some in elementary and middle. So it was a nice time to bring the whole family in at one time and take care of everything. And the total that we generated, now minus the 42, of overtime, but we brought in $7,900. So $7,970. So again, thank you. We had a good time. I mean, the morning just flew by.
I was gonna say, can you tell me how much was left over? I mean, what did the total?
Well, I know we brought in revenue. I don't know what the pay was with the overtime because
I think it's more of a service to the public.
Yes.
I was gonna say, she's thanking us, and I want to thank you for coming up with the idea. I mean, you provide a service to our community, and for a lot of people, it's impossible almost to get in here during normal working hours, and to do this is going above and beyond what you're required to do to accommodate and make it more convenient. So I thank you for coming up with the idea. I thank Recorder of Deeds for piggybacking. Thank the sheriff for accommodating, and everybody for making this work for the community.
It almost feels like a necessity. You know what I mean? And we would like to possibly do this in the fall and the spring of each year.
That would be my next question. Maybe
Because
I'll
we
look
did,
at
yes, we had people ask if we're doing it
couple
again.
of dates.
And that just seems to be, we're catching them before spring break and before summertime. And then in the fall, if we do it early enough, we catch them before winter break. So they just seem to be really good times to get people their passports.
I would like to respond that I do think it's a great service. And, I can't thank all the employees enough for coming out on a Saturday. But I just wondered about the statement. You were starting with that figure of $7,900 and subtracting, but you don't know the figure. So my question really was, did $7,900 cover all of the overtime?
Oh, absolutely.
But you don't know the figures.
No, but
Because every employee makes different.
Only a few employees really that had to come in. You didn't have your entire staff there, correct?
the entire Prothonotary staff worked.
Oh, they did?
And plus one person
10
from
people.
Clerks of Courts who just took pictures.
Mhm.
That's all she did all morning. She just took pictures. And, you know, we have children, so we have to have them in a car seat, and we have to have a white background. So we were constantly juggling
Mhm.
seats and, you know, adjusting the camera. So we get better each time we do it. we
Thank
get a
you
little better.
for accommodating people's needs in the community.
Thank you.
Morning, Dan.
Good morning. Morning, Dan. Please introduce yourself for the record and you can proceed.
Thank you. Dan Lyons with the County Redevelopment Authority,
Jeff Tyler.
Executive Director.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to present a budget modification for the fiscal year 2024 Community Development Block Grant Program. This budget was originally approved in the fall when we submitted our application to the state. It underwent 2 rounds of review. And in the final stage of review, the state took issue with one of the two Mill Creek Township activities. And because of how far along they are in the process, they encouraged us to remove that activity from the application, move the funding to the other Mill Creek Township activity, so that they can proceed with awarding the contract. And then if the township wants to do the additional work to qualify that activity that's removed, they can do that and substitute it back into the budget at a later date. The activities in question, the questioned activity is a handicap accessibility improvement project at the post office in Newmanstown. So we'd be removing that activity and moving the $30,000 to Mill Creek's owner-occupied housing rehab activity. I do believe the township will elect to do the additional engineering and design work to qualify the post office activity. So we would anticipate coming back in to make the substitution at a later date. We advertised this change in the newspaper and we held a public hearing yesterday. There was no public comment concerning the budget modification. So I would request your approval of that modification to be submitted to the state.
I'll make a motion to approve Dan's request.
Second the motion.
Motion and second. Any questions, comments? Dan? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All same sign. Have our approval. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Good luck.
Okay,
Ready for me?
what do you have?
All right, Dawn Poliseo, Deputy Chief Clerk. I just have three quick things. The first thing I have is a resolution that needs approval for Lebanon Transit. This is the certifying that Lebanon Transit, that the county would do a local match of $158,135 for fiscal year 2025-2026. And they need to submit this application by April 28th.
I'll move to approve.
Second?
Motion second. Questions, comments? All in
So
favor?
maybe a disclosure. My wife is a
Board member.
board member, not non-paid volunteer, and has no engagement.
So noted.
Okay.
Questions, comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That approved.
All right, the next thing I have is the Lebanon County Agricultural Land Preservation Board had a meeting on March 20th, and they are recommending the following three individuals to be reappointed to the Preservation Board. The first one is Mervyn Horst of Newmanstown, Gary Lentz of Lebanon, and Patrick Kreiser of Newmanstown. These would be a 3-year term, and they would serve until January 31st of 2028.
Make a motion to appoint Mr. Horst and Lentz and Kreiser to the Farmland Preservation Board.
I'll second that.
Motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That same sign. That approved.
Okay, and the last thing I have is 3 disabled veteran exemptions. The first one would be for Jose Martinez of Acorn Court, Lebanon, Tony Burwager of Lehman Street, Lebanon, and Gregory Norris of Weymouth Drive, Lebanon.
I'll move to approve those tax exemptions for those disabled veterans.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Exemptions are approved. Any other business to come before the board this morning, sir?
Would I be allowed to now ask her some questions?
Please, if you have a question, if you can go ahead.
The 3 reappointees, are they all farmers?
Pretty much.
I would imagine.
You would imagine.
I don't know that answer.
They have to have a public director on the board.
What's that?
They have to have a public director on the board, but the majority are farmers.
The majority are farmers. Well, isn't that kind of like appointing the fox to guard the hen house? Who's on that board to represent me?
Well, I go to the meetings.
You do.
Yeah.
And how much are you gonna represent me, Joelle?
I do my best.
My assumption is 2 are farmers, and Patrick Kreiser, it says reappointed as a contractor board member.
He would be
He's
the
a
public
contractor.
member.
So he would be a public board member.
They are public
Okay.
So
meetings.
2 and 1.
They are public meetings. They are public meetings. You're right to attend their meetings.
What's that?
They are public meetings.
Yeah, I know that, but I've been having trouble getting any kind of a meeting. That's kind of getting a little better for me. And Coon, you might get lucky, I might not come here anymore because I haven't heard a damn thing anybody said really. Because at my age, I become hearing impaired because I had to work around engines all my life. That said, as Llewellyn will attest to, I am the biggest opponent in Lebanon County of farmland preservation and cleaning green. I fought it. Of course, I lost, but that's why I like to know what's going on with farmland preservation. So I'll have to pay more close attention, but now I can get to some meetings again. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? I wanted to question, you brought up in your presentation, you mentioned Jamie. Jamie who?
That's right, we're saying this to see.
We'll have to entertain a motion to adjourn. Stand adjourned, thank you.